Okay. Okay, so Visual Studio Code, backend, and debugging.
Yes.
I did try to set it up a few months ago, and I got it to work. I was able to set breakpoints, inspect variables, and everything. And then that went down to the memory lane because I forgot about it. And because to make it work, it was a little bit finicky. And I saw a message over on Slack the other day, and someone else was trying to set up the same thing. So I decided to give it another go, but it's not working anymore.
Oh no.
So I would like to show you what I did and what is failing, and hopefully come up with an idea to solve it and bring back to life Visual Studio Code debugging.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds really helpful. And it's such a good coincidence Miracle's here because Miracle's been working the debugging of backend a lot on the pairing sessions. But I don't know, have you ever gotten it integrated with VS Code or we've just been running Price Shell?
I've just been running PriceShell.
Yeah, so I'd be really curious to see. That'd be really cool if it could integrate nicely into VS Code. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, so let me open up VS Code. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen in a second. Screen share. Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, a few months ago, I found out that there's a Ruby gem called debug. That's kind of the new way of debugging on a Ruby 3, I guess, or something like that.
Hmm.
And that debug gem ties well with Visual Studio Code extension, which is called rdbg.
Okay.
And basically, we can tie them together to make everything work inside of Visual Studio Code. One thing that I had to do to make it work the first time when it worked is I had to remove the pry by bug gem, because when I was setting a breakpoint, it wasn't hitting the rdbg endpoint. It was using the by bug endpoint, so it wasn't working.
Hmm.
Basically, I disabled the pry by bug gem and enabled the new debug gem, and then the everything should be as should be with big quotes, should be as simple as running this command, which is basically the usual command to start a debugging session using Price Shell, I guess. We stop the GDK Rails web service and then start it again with setting the GitLab Rails rack timeout enable login false and Puma single mode true. And then we start the rdbg session, telling him to basically start watching the bundle exec Rails server. And that's working, but what it doesn't work is Visual Studio Code, because I can't attach it to the rdbg service, because it's saying that the let me show you. I don't know if it's making any sense or not.
I think
But
so.
Okay. So if I do this,
Yep.
okay, Puma is starting. Okay, so now we have this waiting for a debugger to attach. And then if I go over to VS Code,
Yeah.
where is, no, come on, zoom toolbar in the way. Okay. So the attach is basically just telling VS Code to attach to rdbg, and that should do everything automatically. But connection refused. It's like it's using a socket to connect to VS Code. VS Code is using a socket to attach to the rdbg service,
Right.
but it doesn't work with it. Doesn't want to work with it, and I can't figure out what could be wrong.
Can we try setting a breakpoint first?
Without VS Code.
I guess so.
So at the moment, I do have this debugger command in here, and let me open up a controller to get to that breakpoint. Okay, so this is working from the console.
Yeah.
Zoom toolbar, how can I hide it? Oh, no. Oh, I was able to hide it. Okay. So, yeah, on the terminal, the breakpoint gets hit, and I can do the usual stuff and to continue step and.
But from here, from this place, you're not able to attach with rdbg either. If you click the attach at this point of time.
Oh, okay. No.
Okay.
No, and to be honest, I don't know what's wrong, because when we start, so let me continue this, and oh, it's doing a lot of things. Let me stop it. So basically,
it sounds like it could be a permissions thing though, right? The permission on the socket, not.
yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know enough about sockets and how these kind of things work. One thing that I noticed is that when so now the GDK Rails up, where is it up? So if we stop the Rails web service, GDK status, and that's down. If we start the service again with rdbg, here inside the .vscode folder, it should create. Oh.
Uh-oh.
And this is conflicting change directory during another change directory. Yeah, that's what I meant when I said it was a little bit finicky.
So do you really have to set, because I'm just thinking about when we did debugging on Miracle's machine, when she was able to put binding dot, and I've done this before, like you can do binding pry shell. is there a VS Code integrate, and you don't have to like restart any of the services, and it just works with whatever the launch configuration of the services are of GDK? Are there any debugging integrations with those kind of debugging interfaces in VS Code?
I don't know. Every time I used to debug the backend, I basically used to follow the documentation on the GDK, and they were stopping the Rails web service.
I see.
And
That makes sense.
so I honestly don't know of any other way to debug backend.
Okay. Well, yeah, let me see.
By the way, what I wanted to show you is that when you start the rdbg service, it creates this rdbg underscore autoattach.json, and
Right.
it has these stuff with the debug port, and that's the exact port that I'm getting the error out of. Var folder 66.
Right.
Yeah, that's so it could be a permission issue, but I don't know what the permission.
Could we maybe ls that on a separate terminal and see what,
Yeah.
the file permissions look like?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. And that's
Go to the Ruby debug sock.
git graph ask
There it is on
Ruby debug sock. Oh,
yeah.
501. Oh, I missed one part.
Yeah, you're good.
Ruby debug sock. Okay.
Okay.
S.
So it's like everyone's able to read it.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm. That's interesting. I'm gonna just see. I'm looking up, doing some Googling, see what we get. I know that it'll be frustrating though. So going back though, like it'll be frustrating if for you to debug, you have to update the gem file. Like that's sounds not
Yeah, because let me try to, so let's do this. I'm going to revert all my changes to show you what the problem is if I don't remove that gem.
okay.
So gem file, go back, install. Come on. My internet speed is.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, online it says you can try debugging with print statements. Have you tried that? I'm joking.
Yes, I did.
Why do you want to inspect your code when you can just console log everything?
Yeah, exactly. So now the gem should be back, and if I start GDK, Okay, and if I do this,
Uh-oh.
a server is already running, and I did a GDK kill before.
Oh wait, let's try running again because I think it can take some time to stop the Rails web.
Oh, okay.
Stopping Rails web is an asynchronous action. So
Mm. Nope.
What?
Do I have? Let me see. And do I
Can
have?
we if we do GDK status, is GDK status showing that that thing is running?
That
No, wait, what's down? Rails web is down. Oh, it just lost. It lost. Yeah, we need to remove that.
that file?
Yeah. Looks like GDK kill may have not completely cleaned itself up. Yeah, I don't feel good removing process IDs. That makes me feel like
Yeah.
Same. Made my hands curl up.
And there's already a server bound.
what's going on? Is this
Yeah.
is this what you're into?
When I found this problem today, my solution was to restart my machine.
Oh no. All right, let's try this out then. Let's do GDK stop. Everything. And let's
Okay.
GDK doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the lesson is we should send our GDK to the doctor before we just kill it. Maybe though. The doctor might not the doctor may see it maybe, oh, this GDK is just fine. I was like, okay, it's time to kill it. You've got a lot of logs, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. That's not the issue though. So if yeah, go on.
Yeah,
I
run
should be
GDK.
able to,
Go ahead.
if I should be able to do GDK start and it should work. Okay. So now if I do GDK stop Rails web, that's come on. If I can type. Okay. And if we do this,
The other kind of idea I have for you is we can update so we removed the process ID, but for some reason something's still listening, I think, to the yeah, something's still listening to this stuff. I don't think we want to remove that.
no.
So I'll run, let's run GDK stop. And let's run GDK kill. What would be interesting is if, okay. And then the GDK itself has like a commands it uses to start like Rails web. So like, what if we, instead of doing stop and then start like here, what if we just update that command on the GDK to start with these parameters?
I'm not sure I'm following you.
If we do, can we go up a directory here where we're actually in the GDK folder? And then let's do ls here. I don't remember what the files are here.
Oh, let me do it another way. Code.
Oh yeah.
And
you
now,
can. So if you go down to,
it should be, the commands should be inside the lib folder. GDK.
well, I think it's even if you go to scroll down to the, I think it's at the top level. Because I remember having to do this before. If you keep scrolling down, keep going down. Let's check out rake file. Can we just check that the rake file, and then it might be the make file too. That looks so awesome. Really good job. Wow, I love it. Nice. Thanks. This is her picture that she drew.
Aw, that's so cute.
Good. You got look on. Is there a Rails web reference here at all? Rails-web. If we do a search for Rails web, like Rails web : I think we'll find it. A project-wide search for Rails web :
Yeah. Rails web.
Is it proc file? Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. Do we have a proc file anywhere here? That's got it. This got it. It's like proc file.
Rock file. Rock file.
No, so the only thing we see is just there. Yeah, it might be leading us astray. I'm sorry about that.
No, is what the string. I don't know. How did I get that service running and GDK is not detecting that?
Okay. Yes, the situation that's going on is proc file is actually not committed. So that's why it's not. No, not. I told you not right now.
Oh, I do have
Uh,
a file in here. Okay, I do have a proc file.
Yes.
Rails web exec. Okay.
All right.
Bundle down file. Rails and oh, so many settings.
So many settings. So, okay. Rails and environment and. All right. So I think all of it takes us back to the GitLab. All of it takes us back to the GitLab folder where it calls this executable in bin/web. If you go to the bin folder here,
Yep.
bin/web, and that
Okay.
bundle exec Puma thing.
Yeah.
I guess we use Puma to start up the Rails thing.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because when I start the Rails server, that's starting Puma. And then Puma complains about another
Right.
server already listening.
So could we throw the rdbg here?
Yeah, we can try, but oh, maybe I
I really don't know. I guess Puma's trying to keep it alive. Like Puma will try to keep Rails web alive. Is that kind of the response. I don't know. I have no idea what the responsibility of Puma is.
Oh, I don't know either. This is way out of my knowledge.
Is this some sort of like as Spring is to Java? Is this something tells me that's not right? But but I feel like we should be able to get it integrated with VS Code without needing to change how Rails
Probably.
websites. So that might be our best bet to maybe slightly shift course to how can we integrate the pry shell thing? I think that's a really integrating the pry shell would be really nice because that just works out of the box. If I recall correctly, and the past handful of pairings of Miracle and I have done was we were using pry shell, and you didn't have to touch any kind of configuration with GDK stuff, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I would maybe start looking at what VS Code integrations are for pry shell. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, well, there's Google for that, so
there it is. Let's Google it together.
Yeah.
You guys use Google, I'll use ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, let's do it. We're gonna be so informed.
So pry shell VS Code integration.
Oh look, there's GitLab.
Pry debugging. By the way, my GDK is definitely not alive.
Oh, looks like it's in debugging land.
It looks like there's a couple VS Code extensions for Pry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of them is literally called Pry.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we should check the VS Code marketplace.
Pry.
Oh, did ChatGPT lie to me?
Lied.
No, that's impossible.
I guess it's impossible because it's not a lie if you believe it's true. So ChatGPT believed it was true.
I mean, ChatGPT also only pulls from 2021, so maybe it died in the last 2 years.
It should still be well, there's a place that Pry VS Code extension. Well, even Google doesn't find it.
Yeah, maybe it just died.
Debugging Ruby VS Code.
It looks like there's Code Runner too. I mean, Code Runner as well, not Code Runner number 2.
That's another IDE?
No, it's an extension.
Oh, okay. Oh, Code Runner.
Yeah, that one exists.
Run code snippet or code file for multiple languages. Well, 18 millions download. Okay, let's try it. But to be honest, I don't know if I will be able to actually try it out because my GDK is that.
To the Ruby. Well, I mean, I can try it on my end.
Yeah, my solution would be to restart my machine, which is definitely feasible, but I will be back in a couple of minutes. Well, less than a couple of minutes.
Yeah. If you're starting from scratch, I can try it on my end. Do you want to do that? If we're starting from scratch?
Yeah, basically I would definitely try to avoid updating the gem file. So yeah, let's try.
Okay. All right, let me close things so I can share my screen. And man, we'll just try it out. I'm a little scared. I don't think. All right, let's try it. Sharing my screen. Okay. Let me clear some things out. All right, so here I am on master. Let me run bundle and yarn, and I guess go ahead and start it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start it. All right. So let's solve the problem of how do I debug Ruby stuff? So I liked what you were doing with the attach. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think I may need to go to the launch.json. Okay, this is a node thing. So I guess I have the Ruby extension. Stop. I have the Ruby extension.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that gives me a type. Oh no, I have caps lock, which is why Vim wasn't working. All right. I guess I have a type Ruby. And
Yeah.
we will try to attach.
Okay.
Attach Ruby. And I am certain there are things I'm missing here. Maybe I can go to a certain socket. I don't know.
What does this squiggly line behind under the
This is
mentioned?
upset because
Yeah, that's you're missing all those things.
current work really. Come on. This is the current working directory, obviously.
Uh, you
Something's not
sure?
right there. Yeah, something's not right. Is that just because it's a Ruby thing?
No, you should set it to workspace folder, I guess.
Hmm.
With the dollar, I don't remember.
Yes. This is kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Are you ready to potentially cheat? Uh, I love using SourceGraph to search for code.
I never use source graph.
I use this all the time when I'm just not, when I'm really just, I have no idea what I'm doing. I got to find an example. So I use SourceGraph for this. So let me then look for a launch.json file with type some sort of Ruby thing.
This is cool if it works.
It is cool if it works. Cool. Look at this. All right. Listen for rdbg IDE. Do we have rdbg IDE? Oh, please say we do.
I don't think
No.
so.
We don't. So these are all launches, I see.
Yeah.
Here's, but I guess you could look for
Debug ID.
rdbg IDE. Man, yeah, I see a lot of these rdbg IDEs.
What's debug ID? Debug ID. Ruby debug to IDEs. Nice. It's another gem.
Are there any docs about rdbg IDE?
There's the project over on GitHub.
Okay. But like we don't have any internal guides on using rdbg, it looks like. So I'm trying to see how uncharted of territory are we going?
Yeah, I think this is going way out of.
All right. I am going to look for this, but I'm gonna see if I can filter out does like not contain. I don't know how to do that. All right. Oh, here's one. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it looks like I just put in the. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, this is some sort of Docker thing, but let's just see. Uh, I'm just gonna copy it as is right now. Uh, okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so that was an interesting find, but I see that this project is a Docker thing, so I'm not sure what that's gonna look like. Um, I would be really curious about. I mean, I'm also really curious to know what do they do in
but
Ruby mine?
yeah, that's the other thing that I wonder. RubyMine does this already, and they must have a way to do it.
Right, and if I mean that's what I'm saying, it's the same protocol, so just you got to hook it up with VS Code somehow. So
Exactly.
this is database debugging. All right, let's looking at our docs. Let's see, is there any kind of all right, try debugging, or the runner running in debugging, debugging developer guide. Wait, added to assisted development or writing. Oh, that doesn't sound. Oh, this is some op. This is
This is GitLab distribution.
yeah. Um, Binding pry uses pry but lacks some bybug. GitLab uses pry bybug. State, yeah. So like you could do all this through the terminal, and that just works. But it'd be
Yeah.
nice to get it integrated. Um, and another process you can use pry shell is really cool. Pry shell. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Pry shell VS Code. There's really nothing there. CLI tool for pry. There's any kind of there's not. I can't believe it. Um,
I can't believe no one did this.
I know. I feel like I'm missing something very obvious. Um, what is this?
Uh,
Oh,
My pry config editor to open up VS Code instead of Nano. Pry config, maybe update pry RC. Oh, that would be really interesting. Is that just a thing that's already out of the box? Do we have a pry RC? Little girl, don't interrupt. Um,
we don't have a right.
You may need to create a pry RC yourself. It should go in your home folder to set the. Do you want to try this out? Let's try it out.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pry RC. I mean, is there any? What is this? Little girls? Hey, oh my goodness, little girls. You need to all go to your room. You're interrupting too much, little girls. Elsie, you can sit here quietly, but you can't interrupt. I know. I know. All right. Let's try putting in a pry RC somewhere here. And that'd be really interesting if there's like a user setting too, though. I wonder, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, I know who could help you. The website from before.
Where?
code. I don't remember.
Source graph?
Yeah,
Yes.
that one.
Yes, let's do it. Oh yeah, React Rails. That's obviously it's all very fancy. I don't know what I'm doing. But it looks like I can go do something like this. But is this just editing like what does that do? Pry config editor. We not oh that's not even a thing. If I just look for pry config editor, is this oh this sorry. It when I clicked on the file, it scoped it to the repo.
Example. Huh.
The Sublime REPL.
Sublime. I mean, if they can do it with Sublime.
All right, let's try something then. Let's go
Lay
to
down.
let's
Lay down.
let's try to hit a breakpoint.
Lay down.
So
Lay
we'll
down.
go to the let's just go to the IDE controller, maybe,
All the way down.
and binding
Okay.
pry shell. So if I hit the IDE, I should hit that thing. Oh come on. Hit reload. I'm so impatient. So I have a level of like, what's the word? I have a level of like ADHD, and this is like a make it or break it moment for me. When things are loading, man, I can just get derailed and I don't realize that I've spent 2 hours doing something else and I totally forgot the original thing I was doing. So it so much doing this on a call because it's kind of forces some level of focus.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. This is it. So painful.
Yeah.
We're just really thinking about things.
Strange thing that you didn't even get the GitLab is waiting to start page.
Yeah, it takes a little for some reason it just I don't think I'm pretty sure it's not because I've added this debugger thing. Maybe though. So then I can run pry shell here. And this will look for sessions. But all right. Took longer than 57 seconds. RubyMine setup. Oh, here we go. Oh no. Oh, what? All right. So I can also use SourceGraph to look up this repo. And we can look for things in there. Let me look for what am I looking for? I look for RubyMine here, and then I think if I gotta make this. Okay. Create a run debug configuration RubyMine.
Yeah. Configuration.
Script arguments. These are the QA stuff. Tests using RubyMine.
Oh, GDK started.
Oh, great. All right. Okay. Okay, so we're here. Let me go to the web ID where I added my debugger. So let me open this up. Boom, we're loading, taking a while. All of that's great. Oh, what? Okay, we started here. So it's not, nothing's being integrated. That's fine. This is just so not gonna work. We're trying to attach to something.
Attach Ruby, I guess. You left the default URL and port.
It's got to be some sort of debugging port, though. I would imagine.
Huh. True.
Context, editing, help, commands, debug, output, miscellaneous. Fine. Try version. Okay. List inspectors, fix indent, clear screen, change the current inspector proc. Let's change inspector. Yeah, I don't know. Let's do one more source graph search, and then I may have to. You guys can grab snacks. You go grab snack. No. You're interrupting, aren't you? Yeah. Not right now, we'll go. Okay. What am I looking for? The file is called launch.json. So let's see if we can find pry referenced in here at all. Oh no, the answer is no. Well, all right. I guess this isn't gonna. This is probably not gonna work. Unfortunately, I feel like it should be possible. But yeah, with all that being said, is like I'm sure this has been solved somewhere. I feel like I know this is solved in the front end. We've been able to hook up VS Code debugging with it.
Oh, really? That
yes.
was my next step.
Yes, hooking up the front end is easier. I'm trying to think what we've done to do that. Definitely set up for tests. Like doing it for tests is really easy. To do it where you're not having to use the like browser console thing, I forgot, but I know Lee Ticket has done it. I know he's worth reaching out to talk about this.
Yeah, to debug the tests, I was able to do it just starting the yarn jest from the JavaScript console on VS Code.
Yeah. For Ruby, I think I would just be really curious about this. I'd be really curious about what's going on with RubyMine and what's preventing the same configuration in VS Code.
Yeah.
And so it might be worth even just leaving a comment on the backend pairs, because I know Terry, she uses RubyMine, so she must have set up however breakpoints and stuff work there.
Yeah.
And that'll probably shine a lot of light into how we can configure, because I really like VS Code's robustness and flexibility with it's just a simple wrapper around whatever debugging interface is needed. And it's like seems to work pretty nicely. So
yeah,
I think that's the missing thing is figuring out what happens in RubyMine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No worries. This is a battle that I want to win.
Yes. Are you already using PryShell though? Like if you're
I kind of did, but I don't debug backend code that much. So
if you find yourself needing to debug backend code, until there's a nice VS Code integration with it or whatever other IDE you want to use to integrate with it, PrideShell is really, really sweet, where you just run it and then start the PrideShell in another window and it'll connect to it once it's going. And so oh, yeah, somehow something, oh, well, all right. It was sitting around for too long, so it died, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, yeah,
Okay.
we're kind of at time. So yeah, thanks for bringing it up, Marco.
Oh, no worries. Sorry for taking an hour to basically do nothing.
That's all right. Thanks for hopping on, Miracle. It's good seeing you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll catch you all later.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thanks again.